All right, y'all. We here. Welcome to Dead Spot Podcast, episode 10. Got two of my bros here, Reneil and Rudy. We here to talk about a variety of different topics today. We're gonna be touching on the NFL, give a couple predictions. I told you for the next 2 weeks we're gonna be doing predictions, but with this episode is a little bit more special. We're gonna be touching on coming from the communities that we come from, low income community, going to college, graduating from college, things like that. And then both of my friends right here, one is already a cop and one is in training to become a cop. So we're gonna be touching on that and touch about what is it like being a cop coming from the community that we come from, coming from the neighborhood we come from, and just different things like that. So it's going to be a lot of different topics. So let's just jump right into it. Let's touch on, first off, we can start with the NFL, get that out the way. Since we all Niner fans here, let's just start with the NFC West. Like, how do y'all see the NFC West going for us this year?
I'm gonna let Rudy go on that first.
Man, we win in the division. I'm gonna tell you that off the rip.
Okay.
We win in the division, but it's gonna be neck and neck, us and the Rams. I think it's
Okay.
really gonna be a shootout throughout the whole season. I got our final record being 13-4, with a possible 14-3.
Mm,
We're confident on that.
mm. So if we 13-4, 14-3, the Rams gonna be what, right there, or is they gonna fall off close to the end? Or it's
I'm
like,
talking about like right there.
so we 13-4, 12-5, like, or
I'm talking about the whole. It's gonna be each week, bro. They're gonna be keeping track of both of our records.
mm,
I'm talking about it's gonna be just like that. But I think with the Rams though, that's where that whole 14-3 came from, because I gave it to each of our division games. Them is two unpredictable ones. I don't see the Seahawks. I'm giving the Seahawks one against us. I'm giving the Cardinals one against us, and I'm giving the Rams one against us.
okay.
That's with the possible. But I see them going. But I see them, right there with us, bro. If we go 14-3, they 13-4,
Okay. So
or
they
even the same record, damn near.
same record, but just you think we can edge them? Okay. So it's
Yeah,
gonna be real close.
right.
Renee, what you
Yeah,
think?
I like how that sound. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Mhm.
I'm kind of second in there right there.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely gonna be a shootout, but the Niners coming with a lot of firepower, offensively and defensively this year. I'm like that D line, not even first team, but second team even looking good D line wise, and I'm like,
D Ford, second, he not even starting.
that's
Right.
what I'm saying. I'm like, it's still looking nasty. Like the D line still looking nasty,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a lot of pressure, but I don't know. I'm feeling like it may not be LA. It may be Arizona that comes sneaky right behind us. Because
Okay.
you got to think about it. The Niners really struggle with mobile quarterbacks, and Kyler Murray a force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That boy is a force. So I agree with Rudy. Like we gonna definitely come out on top, but I feel like it might be Arizona rather than LA to be right behind us.
Okay.
That's good.
You see now. So both of y'all kind of not as high on Seattle this year. That's what I'm getting from this.
I ain't really too high with Seattle this year.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. I kind of like only because, bro, like all Russell Wilson do is make the playoff. He don't really know how to do anything else. Like it'd be tough. Like I don't know if they missed a playoff since he's been in the league. I don't think like, or at least since they start going like after his first year. Like I don't know, they done made it almost every year since him and Pete Carroll been there.
Now, that's true.
But it's gonna be tough though. Arizona, I know a lot of people high on them, and the Rams, they other people on this. So it's like it could go either way. I'm really kind of shaky on that second thing. I think I'm gonna lean more towards the Rams right now. With the Cardinals is just stupid dumb on paper. Like they got weapons. Offensively, they got defense. So it's like, yeah, we'll see. When you little bro though, it's just something about like trying to get back from that be a little tough sometimes. What y'all think about the NFC North?
Ooh.
Me personally, I'm gonna take Green Bay on that.
Okay.
I'm a second now.
Runaway?
I think so. Uh yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a runaway. I feel like it is. Ain't nobody really like. I mean, everybody got high hopes for Chicago, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
nah, I ain't messing with Green Bay.
Yeah.
And Chicago, until they get Justin Fields in there, they not taking off. And they also got to get an O-line. So it might even if he get out there, it might be another year for them.
Yeah, a lot of people
Chicago is trying to make it work right now, but this year ain't the year for that. I don't think.
Yeah, they better be cool to get another wild card spot like they did last year.
Yeah.
Get that 7th spot and be cool. The Vikings, I liked the Vikings, but
yeah,
I don't know. Like they got firepower. You got Cook, you got Jefferson, you got Thielen, but Kurt, bro, I don't know. He just middle tier to me. Like he just can't really get them over that hump like that. I don't know. Like I don't see them having too good of a year, even though they got talent though. So yeah, Green Bay, that's runaway. That might be one of the easiest divisions in the whole league for real.
Mm-hmm.
What about the NFC East?
Whoa. I'm taking Washington with that division.
Okay, you got why?
I'm taking Washington because Washington, bro. First of all, that defense is elite. That's one of the best defenses in the whole NFL. That's gonna be what carries them, though. But on offense, they got weapons. I know everybody ain't sold on Fitzmagic, and that Fitzmagic definitely run out of the around week 10. But still, you got Terry McLaurin out there. You got Antonio Gibson. They got weapons, so they got the means in their division to really win that division. But I got the Giants coming in as a sleeper. I don't think they're gonna do bad this year either. But I got Washington winning the division.
And let's put it on wax right now. I drafted him in my fantasy league, Terry McLaurin, and I drafted Antonio Gibson. Everybody's in the league. Oh, they overhyped. Turning it on wax, they finna be killing this year. Antonio Gibson is a boy. Just right. Reneil, what you thinking? You agreeing or you got somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with the Washington, but I mean that's not a division I really watch like that. It ain't nothing exciting in that division, bro.
It ain't.
Like I mean, the Cowboys was exciting when Dak and Zeke was like in a prime, but
like that, yeah.
Now I mean I don't even want to watch them. Dak ain't played in a while, so it's like he ain't got it. You know he ain't gonna have his mojo back coming straight up. Yeah. So it's like I don't even want to watch that division like that. But I say out of who gonna come out on top, I definitely agree with Rudy. Washington gonna come out on top for sure. But to me, I'm not even tuning into that division too much.
Yeah, I feel you. Right now, until they prove something more, that's kind of a wasted division.
They kind of going on the DVR, and I'm gonna just record it and watch it later when I got free time or something. But I'm not trying to tune into that.
Thanks.
Like, hey, football on tonight. I'm about to go watch this game. Nah, I'm gonna throw it on the DVR, and maybe when I'm just chilling, I ain't got nothing to do.
Yeah.
Tune into the game or just watch some highlights, bro.
I feel you. Last division out here before we go AFC, we got the NFC South.
You want to take this one from there?
See, me, I've always been a secondary fan of New Orleans, but
okay,
it's hard to count. It's hard to count on Jameis Winston real like this soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
seeing how he played before, but
especially with no Mike T.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, I don't even know, honestly.
No.
That's a hard one. That's a hard one.
I might say the Bucks.
Just take the Bucks because, Brady ain't to be slept on not one bit. They coming back with every starter they had. So it's like you can't sleep on Brady. He said he did an interview and said, man, I still feel like I'm throwing the ball like I'm 22, 23 years old. So you give him same old line he had last year, he going to the bowl again.
Ooh.
Early throughout the early prediction, he
right.
said the Bucks is back.
Okay.
I'm thinking that.
Okay, the Bucks then. So right now we didn't agree to okay, you said y'all both said the Niners, the Bucks, Green Bay, and then Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got the Giants coming out the East though.
You said
only because Fitzpatrick, like, I don't know, like you said, the magic run out. So as long as the Giants can stay close, like if they're a game or so behind them or right there with them, when week 10, 11, when Fitzmagic start to, you feel me, when the 12 o'clock hit and he go back to a regular person, they could take off. They just got to, you feel me, just stay right there on their ass until it hit. If they 3-4 games back, though, it's over. But if they can be 1 possibly even 2 games back with about 6 or 7 to go, that's when this Ryan shit start to end. And that's when they could fly right by him. So you feel me? I don't know. We'll see though. And then did y'all have wild card predictions?
Nah, I ain't really had no wild card prediction on that. It's iffy.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was throwing the Giants in the wild card prediction.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had the Giants winning the division, and I had Washington in the wild card.
The wild card, yeah.
My wild cards was the Rams, Washington, and Seattle. I had Arizona written down on my paper. When I came on to do the predictions, I couldn't even get it out of my mouth, and Seattle came out. I don't know, bro. I wanted to rock with the young Bucks, but Russ, bro, it's something about him, bro. I don't know. I can't stand him, but it's something about dude. He different.
That's true.
So but if it was a year for them not to make it, this the year. We didn't got to a point where they definitely the 4th most talented team in our division. So, I don't know if niggas got Russ. That nigga different.
Russ is different, but I'm feeling like Kyler Murray picking that up. He kind of like, I'm learning from him. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like Kyler Murray studies that man's game.
He would be smart too.
Right.
I'm feeling like he do, bro.
Hey, I got a lot of
people play him twice a year. He ain't got no other choice to.
Yeah. I got a lot of people that know a lot of football. Some of my football coaching friends, they love Kyler. So it's like the Kyler pick definitely not a bad pick, but they love like. And one of my guys, he damn near specialized in quarterbacks, and he like, I'm telling you, Kyler's the real deal. I mean, we will see. We will see. Thing about sports, they got to play the game.
Right.
This is a good one. I'm interested to see what y'all gonna say. AFC North.
AFC North.
It's a tough one over there because what just happened to the Ravens.
Right.
Yeah,
I thought, honestly, I'm looking at the Ravens like, hey, y'all might actually get it done this year.
Mm-hmm.
But now with them big injuries, I'm like,
Yeah. Them was 2 big ones too.
Exactly.
Right. You already lost your starter. Now you lose your backup back and Peters.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I don't know. So y'all getting the benefit of knowing. I picked the Ravens before I seen that on my podcast last week, but so I'm gonna have to just stick with that. But it's looking vicious right now. I don't know.
With this new information, I might have to go with them boys in Cleveland.
Yeah. That sound about right. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to sleep on Cincinnati too much. I might be a little biased because my cousin played for them, but I don't want to sleep on them. I don't want to sleep on Cincinnati because shit, that boy was injured last year, and he like, hey, I'm coming back with a vengeance this year.
Yeah.
I'm coming to play hard. So I don't want to sleep on Cincinnati too much, but Cleveland got firepower.
Right. Vicious.
Cleveland got firepower, so I'm probably gonna have to rock with Cleveland too.
Well, listen, with now that what we know, Big Ben, 100 years old, Ravens got all this stuff going on. If the Browns can't win this division right here, right now,
it's time
Baker
to trade
might not be that guy. He might got to go.
Time to trade up.
Cause it's some.
You better go after Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, and roll the dice. Cause if he don't get this done, I'm sorry. They picking up running backs all off the anywhere.
Right.
In the Baltimore and the Steelers, like they got weapons, but Big Ben can't bend his knees. So it's like I don't see. So I don't know if they can't get it done. Yeah,
it's a struggle.
We got to get rid of it because they Super Bowl ready. Like they really have everything you need: the running backs, the receivers, the tight ends, O line, D line, DBs, line. Like they loaded. So if Baker don't win this division, that extension he wanted, yeah, cookies. He talking about Josh Allen money. He's getting no money from me if he can't get this division.
Yeah, I ain't giving you nothing either.
So this is make or break, in my opinion.
Pack a bag and go work at McDonald's, boy, because
or the CFL, you be up there with them Canadians, because I ain't got it for you over here, cousin. Sorry. and you short. Let me see. AFC East.
I'm going with them Billy boys.
The Billy Boy.
I'm rocking with the Bills. I think I got New England in second though.
Oh, you said New England in second? Okay.
And I give you your flowers, Bo. Last year before the season, Bo was like, hey, bro, I'm telling you, bro, Josh Allen. I'm telling you, kind of like that Josh Allen. I was like, bro, go somewhere with that, bro. He is not like that. He like, all right, bro. I mean, I'm just saying. Josh Allen. He's like, bro, they gonna make some noise. And I can be goddamn it, they didn't make some noise. So I had to give you a little, I've been waiting to get on here with you to say that because I was giving you hell last summer, but yeah, show caught that for sure. Oh. You said the Pat second?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Pat second.
Mm.
I mean, you gotta listen to what Belichick said. He said Mac Jones knows this offense so well now. And I mean, I guess, depending on how you feel about Cam personally, Cam was a decent quarterback. I ain't gonna say he's still the Cam that he was when he first came to the league.
Right,
he played himself up too much. But I mean, for you to say, Cam, we ain't gotta start you. We rocking with this rookie. He gotta be good. He gotta, in my opinion, he gotta be good. If Belichick like, hey, I'm rocking with this rookie.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I'm gonna throw them in second then. If he trusts him that much, and I watched Mac Jones play a little bit, he's not bad.
See, the thing for me, I got the Dolphins second only because, I watched them at Bama. I'm a Bama fan, so I seen the Mac, I seen Tua. I just think Tua is a lot better than him. It's like Mac, he did good in the preseason, but the preseason it could be misleading. I don't know, what he was doing, and it's a reason, bro. I keep saying this. It was a reason they gave in together, and Tua was starting them. And Mac Jones was holding that clipboard with the headset on the whole time Tua was out there. He never took a meaningful snap while Tua was healthy. So but it's just like Miami got the defense, they got the DB. Xavier Howard, that boy is really stupid raw. So I got them, but it's I do see what people saying about the Patriots, but I'm not as sold on Mac yet. I can just see it in live action in the regular season. I don't know. Bose, where you leaning? Pats?
No, I agree with you on the Dolphins because I know people don't be messing with your boy Tua, but I like Tua, and I think he got enough weapons to where he can come out good in that division. I just don't see him beating the Bills, but I feel like they're gonna have a good record. I mean, they're gonna be up there, but I think they'll do better with the Pats. I'm not too sold on Mac Jones neither. Like you say, you watched him, and you be telling me about him how he was at Bama. You saying he ain't a bad quarterback, but I just got to see him out there. How he doing the offense, how Belichick said that he know the offense, that's cool. I want to see how he gonna react to it. Plus, he got weapons now. He got weapons that Cam didn't have last year, so we'll see how he act on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if Cam was there, I would have had Cam coming in second.
Okay.
Just based off how I feel about that, but yeah. But now I got the Dolphins coming in second in that division.
Well, it's really just because of that. Okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be close, bro. And I know the Patriots, bro. The thing about him is Bill Belichick. It's just so hard to pick against him. So I get that completely. That's why a lot of people. Some people got them. I seen somebody on ESPN today. He picking them to win, to go to the Super Bowl and win their division.
Oh, that was a bold prediction.
I take.
That is a bold one.
Let me see. Let's AFC South.
Tennessee.
Yeah,
Tennessee. Now, the question about Tennessee, I would ask, do y'all think Tennessee got a real shot at going to the Super Bowl this year? No?
I don't think so. Playoffs wise, they definitely making it to playoffs. But
they locked in, but
the ball, I ain't sold on it. Yeah. I ain't too sold on it.
Okay, why? So you don't think they got? Because they got firepower on offense, but that's just not enough.
Nah.
To me, they defense ain't strong enough yet.
Right. I mean, Julio was a good pickup. Like you said, they got offense. They got offensive weapons, bro. And like he said, they definitely going to the playoffs. But Super Bowl ready, I just don't see it. like he said, their defense has not improved that much. Like, did they even get any off-season defensive pickups?
Yeah, but nothing like too major though.
Right, nothing too notable, right? So their defense is probably gonna be the same as it was last year, or if not, just a little bit better. So they haven't made any major moves to be a Super Bowl contending team.
But then and then obviously, I mean, the last one is the AFC West, but that one kind of.
That's already, you know who taking that one. Can't see all the way.
Yeah, that one kind of seeming like a lock. So they don't really want to waste too much time talking that one.
I thought you wasn't even gonna bring that one up. I thought that was set in stone.
I almost went past it. I almost did, but I said, well, let's just touch on it for a moment. Let's just touch on it. And what about that for them wild cards? So I got Miami, the Browns, and the Chargers.
Ooh. See, I'll take Miami, and I'm gonna throw the Raiders in there.
The Raiders?
I'm gonna throw the Raiders in there. I'm gonna give them let me tell you. I'm gonna throw the Raiders in the wild card. Not a faithful over here, but I ain't no hater. I'm gonna throw them in the wild card. Then I'll probably throw the Colts in the wild card too. But see, the Raiders I like their offensive. See, they got a good offense. They like a lot of teams, but their defense is a little suspect. Now they got a couple additions in the draft and in the offseason, so they're trying to make some improvements. So they got Ngakoue out there, then they got Mad Max coming off the edge. So they got some cool weapons. Then they got Mo Rig back there. So they're trying to make something shake. And the offense, you know, they got Carr as their quarterback. So that's something. Josh Jacobs. Then they got the young cat from Carolina who they drafted last year. Then they got Ruggs. So their offense is cool. So I think they'll be a good team in that division. They're gonna make the wild card playoffs.
And who was the last team you said?
Oh, Indianapolis.
So you got Miami, Raiders, Indianapolis.
Yeah.
So you picking them over the Chargers? So the Raiders coming in second in their division over the Chargers?
Yeah. It was close, though. I'm going to tell you that. It was real close.
And so with the Ravens happened, these injuries that made it bad enough to where they're not even going to make the playoffs?
Oh, no. We're going to have to see. I think it's kind of bad. I'm not going to lie to you. It's bad for him.
Right there.
It's bad for him right now, bro. It's not their year. It's bad.
Damn, we got Nappy Pro Lamar. You said what?
I said they're gonna have to wait another one, Rudy. Just another year.
It's another year, bro.
That's how you come back off that ACL tear.
Yeah. Nappy Fro Lamar, he's supposed to go off. You know what?
Hey, we're gonna see, bro. I'm telling you, this is just my predictions. He could come out and make it shake, even with all the injuries, but we're gonna see.
Yeah, that's a take right there. That's a take right there. You saw Miami, Raiders, Colts. Got to remember that one.
Yeah.
You think you like the Raiders too?
I'm agreeing with you on that, Dev. I ain't gonna lie. I'm liking the Chargers a little bit more.
Yeah, I like the Chargers.
I'm liking it a little bit more.
So the Chargers, but then you would have the Pats over the Miami then. So then yours would be what? Pats, Miami,
and probably Cleveland.
No, you said Cleveland win the division.
You right. Let me see.
So is Lamar getting in? Both got Lamar.
Sneaky, bro. So I think it's a possibility he could do it. And that's the thing. If he make it to the wild card, he ain't gonna make it no further than that. I think that'll be it for him. So you look at it like you would almost want to compare it to the Warriors. Like, yeah, we don't expect too much out of Steph this year, but you know, just the fact that he took it that far and he lost to the Grizzlies, you know, that's enough. We could pat him on the back for that. I think if Lamar make it to the wild card, they're gonna pat him on his back.
Damn, man, this is not good Lamar news for me, man. You got him.
I mean, I rock with Lamar. I love his game, bro. I love his game, but it's like when you pretty much got to do it alone.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, they picked up Le'Veon.
Yeah, but he still gotta learn that offense too.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people don't like him because of his attitude. So it's like, do that carry on to when you play for the Ravens too? Do the attitude come with you, or do you leave it alone
Still feel
and
like
just say I'm here to play?
he came in. He got a bad rap, man. I still feel like they played him out. They played my boy out, man. AB attitude was way worse. He's still in the league,
Yeah.
thugging.
No, that is true.
He,
AB got a
he,
terrible attitude, but
AB told the owner that's why you was in the whole house with the like, bro. And they still cashing checks. That's crazy to me.
that's true.
But he played receiver, so the quarterbacks need him. So they asked for him. Le'Veon played running back. They don't respect them anyway.
Right, they'll cut a running back quick.
Cold game.
And you got so many of them. You got so many running backs you could just pick up left and right. Look how every team stacked they running back depth. Every team is like, we just don't. Especially the Niners. The Niners stacked the running back depth like a mug.
Oh yeah, we keep them. We
They damn near
turn
pick
them
up
out like a factory.
receivers.
Yeah, we turn them out something vicious.
So it's like you think about it like this, like receivers, they more so need it. It's like I need you.
Mhm.
Because when it's third and long, who you gonna get up? You gonna have to throw the ball. Third and 20, you gotta throw it. So I mean, AV do got a messed up attitude, but then again, you gotta look at his talent versus his attitude.
But see, if you get Le'Veon on the team, it ain't gonna be no 3rd and 20. We're gonna be 3rd and 4. You feel me? 3rd and 3. You feel me? I don't know, but yeah, we'll see though. We'll see. So you got on wax, you got Miami. No, you got the Pats, the Chargers,
Pass the Chargers and the Ravens.
and the Ravens. And then over here we got the Raiders, the Miami, and you said the Colts.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the Colts. No matter if Carson Wentz come back week 1 or if he come back week 4, that's just why you feeling.
That's because I don't see him coming back week 1. I see him coming back later on in the season.
Okay.
So their quarterback situation is real complex over there right now. I don't even think they know who's starting. I think they're going to figure that out Saturday night. But, yes, I got them coming out because he's going to come in later. I feel like he's going to come in later. He's going to be healthier, and he's going to give them some wins.
Okay. So that's a good prediction. So let's see. Hey, man, all we can do is wait for the season, see how it goes. We're going to transition into the new topic. So the next topic I want to touch on is, being that we all from the Point, Bayview, Hunters Point, in San Francisco, in case anybody not familiar with the neighborhood. Me and Reneil was actually neighbors. Bo lived about 5-ish blocks up the street or so. So, like, coming from where we come from, we all know it's a lot of drugs, it's a lot of violence, it's all type of stuff going on that 3 young black men like ourselves could have got into, could have easily went a whole different direction. Growing up, we all had single mothers and things like that. So it's like, what was the determining factor that got you all from Bayview, Hunters Point, and hanging out with some of our friends that's still hanging out that we know to this day, and led y'all to go to college and finish? And let's even talk about your different journey. Like, Reneil, you went to HBCU, so you was out of state. Rudy, you can talk about your different journey. Like, what was the determining factor that not only made you want to do it, but then once you got in it, like, kept you doing it. It kept you doing the great stuff that y'all have done and currently doing. Anybody can go first.
I want to say for me, it was more so I got tired of being in the Point pretty much. Like I got tired of seeing the same thing every day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like growing up with a single mom, like I talk to my mom about it all the time. Like I was just like, it was like the discipline and what you did to raise me. And she always told me like, nah, I can't take full credit because honestly, you got to an age to where you was gonna make them decisions regardless. You was gonna choose what you wanted to do. So for me, it was like, growing up in the Point, having to go through what I went through every day, like coming from school and being worried, looking over my shoulder late at night, coming out of practice and going home. It was just I got tired of doing that. So for me, that's why I left. Like I was like, man, I'm just gonna go to HBCU and I'm gonna get out of state. And that was like, I mean, pretty much I didn't really have an option. My mom told me, she was like, well, what you want to do? I said, well, I want to go to Cal State East Bay or SF State. She was like, nah. She's like, you either go out of state, you find somewhere else to live, or you go to the military. I'm like, hey, I ain't going to the military. And I mean, I could have moved out, moved with my grandma or something like that at the time, but I was like, I ain't doing that, bro. I'm gonna just leave. And I noticed like I didn't lose friends going. Like at first I was like, man, all my friends gonna be, I ain't gonna really rock with me when I get back. They're gonna be like, bro, you ain't been here all year, bro. You've been gone for a full year. Everybody doing their own thing now, but like leaving and coming back, after I came back, I'm like, man, my friends is still here. Like, everybody doing their own thing, but we all still link up and do stuff. So for me, it wasn't so much of a, man, I'm not leaving. It was just like I'm just gonna take that risk and see what happens. I mean, going to HBCU, it taught me a lot about myself and like, just being African American as a whole. Like, I think going there, it was like you get a lot more praise, a lot more pats on the back, and then you see a lot more like-minded individuals.
Mm-hmm.
But with me being here, it was like, yeah, you see it, but then at the end of the day, you still got a whole bunch of them in that group that's like everybody had BSU in high school. So for me, it was like, yeah, you see a lot of people, everybody in BSU, but not everybody want that for themselves. Some people like, nah, I want to do this, I want to do that. Man, I ain't even coming today. I ain't coming to school today, bro. I'm finna just go chill. And for me, it was just like getting away and being able to really see it. And it's like pretty much 90% of people in college want to be there. Yeah. But it was like seeing all these African Americans that actually want a better education for themselves. And it was like, I got that feeling inside where I'm like, man, I actually love it here. And at first, when I first got there, I ain't know nobody. Like I went out there by myself. First few months, I was sitting there like, man, I was eating lunch by myself, sitting outside by myself. But I'm like, man, it ain't nothing but black people here, man. And everybody in here in a good mood. Everybody dapping each other off. And everybody just like to see people succeed. So after that, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna just stay. Then I ended up, getting linked up with a few people out there, and it was cool. So my experience, leaving, it was probably the best thing I could have done for myself. I felt like I wouldn't be where I'm at in life if I didn't go. I probably would have just said, I ain't really feeling school like that, because I wasn't feeling school like that. But being away from home, I felt obligated. Like that's what I came out here to do. Like I didn't come out here to just chill. I came out here for school. So that was my experience leaving, and growing up in the point just deciding to leave. That was just my life experience of it.
So before we get to Rudy, so you touched on something where you said the first few months you was kind of just out there by yourself, kind of just stuck in it. Like you ain't really had friends, you ain't really know nobody. Mm-hmm. And that's a good inch. I'm glad you said that, because I work in the school, so it's like a lot of the young black men and women are looking at HBCUs, but that's their biggest problem. It's like, I'm gonna leave this area where I got 20 friends to go somewhere where I don't know nobody, and they don't really know like how they will be able to do that. But could you just touch on like, because I mean, it take a different mindset to go from, because like you a popular guy, you had friends, like, what I'm saying, in high school, we used to all kick it. It ain't like you was ever just somebody that didn't have to, or like had to do that, like sit by yourself, or was the odd man out. So to go from being a popular, cool kid, playing sports, having friends, doing all of this, to like what, not like what got you through, but like how was that for you, like mentally? Like, was it like taking a toll on you, or was it just like, I'm here for school, at some point it's gonna come to me?
For me, at that point in my life, I was an introvert. Like I was just an introvert hanging around a bunch of like, outgoing people, like just kicking it with you, kicking it around Rudy, like Kelvin, like all y'all, Aaron, Meech, like all of them, like all y'all were, it's kind of like I grasped to y'all, like I came around y'all. Like y'all was these people like, hey, come on, bro, come on. So for me, like when I got there, I wasn't that outspoken guy. So I was kind of like, man, I'm kind of shy. Like I don't really talk to people like that. And I wasn't set up in the best position. Like everybody who was freshmen at the time, they all had freshman roommates. My roommate was a sophomore. He came to school 2 weeks late. So I was kind of just in a room by myself. Like usually, the first person you kind of kick it with is your roommate when you get out of state. Like that's kind of like your first friend. Mm-hmm. So for me, I was kind of set up like, man, I don't really know nobody. And then the dude next door to me, man, he was cool peoples, but he just wasn't my crowd. Like, not like that. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but dude smoked cigarettes, he smoked weed. I wasn't really into that. He was drinking. I was 18 when I first got there. So I had just turned 18. I didn't drink. I didn't do none of that. So he was just into a lot of different stuff than me. And I was kind of like, I'm gonna just rock by myself for a while. Like I know the friends gonna come eventually. I'm gonna find somebody I got something in common with. And that's just what it was. Like I just had to wait it out. And I started, hearing people like get up in class and say their name, they major, where they was from. And I was just like, all right, okay, this dude in my major, this girl in my major, all right, cool. And I kind of just sat back. And then somebody just came to me and was like, hey, bro, I seen you at a scholarship banquet in Oakland. And I'm like, hey, you right, we was there together. And then next thing you know, shit, I was like one of my boys, and we still cool to this day. And he ended up being my roommate my sophomore year. So it was like,
Okay.
at first, it was just like, I just kind of, you going to take it for what it is at the time. You're going to be like, all right, man, I know I'm going to be by myself for a minute, but it ain't going to be long. You just got to hold out for a minute. And you're going to meet somebody who's into the same things as you. You're going to meet another like-minded individual that either want to know more about you or they're going to be cool with you.
So, okay, good. So for the youth out there, listen to what he just said. Stay down and take your time. It's gonna come to you. You're gonna find the people. Just because it's the first month or two and school ain't going, and you out there to take care of business, you out there for school, you out there to stay focused on that. And then the friends stuff, that's gonna all come. Like he said, he got friends that he met, end up being his sophomore roommate, end up being his friends to this day. And you even graduated what, 4 years now?
Yeah, I graduated 4 years ago.
So it's
we
like,
still tight.
That's come on now. So that's just something I wanted to get out there for the youth that might be tuning in. Like, don't give up on something because it ain't juking right away. It might take a few months. It might take half a semester, a whole first semester to get going. But at least give it a year or two to see like if you like things or not before you just be ready to just be so quick to give it up and come back. Thank you for that. Okay. Bo, talk to me. Coming from the point, what it's looking like for you.
Well, it was kind of like how Reneil said, man. I knew growing up, like Bayview, Hunters Point, like I'm proud to be from where I'm at, but this is not where I always want to be for the rest of my life. Like I knew that, and I knew going to college was gonna give me an opportunity to move out of Bayview. And it's like you said, bro, when you young like that, we see certain things that not a lot of kids see or should see. I should say. I mean, it's a lot of people that we knew growing up that's not even here no more. They even dead or in jail. And then you see things on the street, even going to school, like riding the bus. You see a lot of things that you really shouldn't see. So like going to college, I felt like it was always, I'm going to college. It was a matter of how I was gonna get there, but I was gonna get there at some point. And then going to college, you know how it was for me, Dev. Like when getting out of high school, bro, I wasn't the best student in high school at all. I was just looking at my transcript the other day. I graduated with like a 2.0 or something like that. So I wasn't like the best student. So applying, I wanted to go to HBCU too. Remember, we was talking about that. We wanted to go to Howard, but that didn't work out for me. Even in getting out of high school, applying to like even SF state schools and like UCs, I didn't get into none of them because like my grades wasn't the best, and that was on me. I didn't apply myself truly. So I ended up going to a junior college. Going to that junior college, I still was on that same young mindset. Like I could just cruise by, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got to do my homework at this point. Like it's a test. I ain't got to really study. I'll just get by. A C, C's get degrees. Somebody said that, and I was like, it is what it is. But I didn't end up getting that. I ended up getting D's, F's. It was different than high school. So that was a harder part. And then, I started getting discouraged because, most of you was at Sonoma. Kerwin was out in school out of state. Most of our friends had went to school like to 4-year universities, and I'm at a JC. We had Dennis who went to a JC, but Dennis finished in 2 years. So in doing that, you go to the JC and I tried my best to do it, but you see, I was in a JC for almost 4 years. But what really kept me going over the many times that I was discouraged and felt like giving up was like y'all. I mean, y'all in school, y'all passing y'all semesters. And then Dennis was the first of us to graduate, 2017. So like y'all sticking to school is what made me stick in school. Like, all my friends is being around y'all and y'all hearing y'all talk about school is what made me stick with it. And it took me it took me a while. It took me 7 years to graduate college, but I ended up graduating from Skyline. I didn't even want to go to a 4-year. Remember, we was talking about this too, Dev. You was like, I should. And you was trying to give me words of wisdom on going. And then I had went and talked to a counselor, and all he said is, you got to do one more semester, then you could transfer. So I thought about it, and I just decided to do it. Then I got into SF State. I went there for 2 years, and I graduated last year with my bachelor's in criminal justice. So being around y'all is what really made me stick with school, even throughout the long journey. Y'all had graduated, but everybody got their own path, and like everybody ain't gonna have everything at the same time. So, and then, that was a goal I set for myself, and I achieved it.
And then touch on, and what was your GPA when you graduated college?
College, my GPA was like a 3.7, I think, 3.7, 3.8, one of those.
So let's look at it. Going from high school graduation 2.0 to not even doing that good at Skyline when you first got there, to graduating a 4-year university with a 3.7. You see, like, life would take all type of crazy jumps. Like, nothing gonna go straight through. And it's like the most important degree is the one you got at the end, and that's the one you got the highest GPA on. So like, I don't know, like for me, everything I be trying to do is like talking to younger people, because it's like, look at it, like that's a journey right there. You know what I'm saying? To go from struggling to not getting into school to going to the Skyline to not even doing good there, and then getting on track and then turning into a 3.7. Now you finna get ready to start your career. Like, that's inspiring to young people, because it's like both of y'all stories is kind of touching on, like, you just can't give up. Like, it's about perseverance. It's about just sticking with it. And like for me, I relate a lot with that, because I mean y'all know, but like a lot of people don't know. Like, I was expelled in high school. Like, I got in trouble. I had to leave school and go to a whole new school. Like, so I understand a lot about like persevering over like tough situations. But it's like, especially in our community, like especially when it comes like to school and stuff, like we just so quick to like, oh, they just didn't like it, so I let them come back. Or, oh, they just, school ain't for everybody. So it's like, oh, I didn't let my kid come back home. But it's like, try it for a minute. Like, give it a chance. And you might end up finding lifelong friends. You might end up with a higher GPA than you almost ever had. Like, things could turn around for you if you just stick with it for a little bit, instead of we just so quick, I don't know, or people just want to just throw in the towel. Like, we can't continue to do that, because look at these success stories that if any of us would have thrown the towel when things first got hard, we wouldn't be nowhere near where we at right now. Like, so that's just huge. And we all came from the point, like I said, we all had single mothers. Ain't nobody just was balling out of control. Ain't nobody just had no $1 million laying around. Like, we all had to get it how we live. Like, so it's like, this is really inspiring to hear y'all different stories from your own perspectives. Like, I kind of knew y'all stories a little bit, just like hearing y'all talk about, it's really like, it's good. Like, like, I appreciate y'all coming on here saying that. And so now as we move, like, so going from college to now, Reneil, you already in your profession, Rudy, you on the way. So it's like that, obviously being police officers is what you all, well, Reneil, is what you already do. So it's like going from there, like, was that something that, like, was that something you all always wanted to do, or was that like something that, was that like always a passion, like, or was that something that's like, because like me, I knew I wanted to go to the NBA, and if that didn't cut it, I knew at some point I wanted to be a business owner. Like, when I was younger, like, that was the thing. The hooping, if it don't work, we gonna go work till we get some money, and then we gonna try to start business. That's the plan I'm still going with. But like, how was it for you all? Like, where did you start in your journey with your profession?
I want to say maybe when I was 13, 14, I decided, like, man, I think I want to be a cop. And it's just, everybody would always ask me, like, as a kid, like, why you want to be a cop, bro? Like, why? My pops has been in the pen since I was 11 years old. So they like, bro, your dad got arrested. What you want to be a cop for? They took your dad from you. And my response to that, honestly, at 12, 13 years old, I remember somebody saying, like, man, they took your dad from you. And I'm like, nah, my dad took himself from me. Mm-hmm. So for me, it was like, I've been approached by a lot of cops. I want to say 90% of my police encounters And till this day, probably 95% of my police encounters, none of them have ever looked like me. And what I mean looking like me is being an African American.
Right.
So I looked at it like, man, these people don't know. They don't know. Like, I don't know everything Rudy been through because me and Rudy not that close. Like, we know each other, but we not that close. I don't know everything he been through, but I can relate to what he been through.
Right.
And I felt like it ain't a lot of cops out there that could do that. You can't tell me you know why I'm upset today, or I feel this type of way because my dad ain't around, because you ain't go through that.
Right.
So how can you truly know how I feel? That's why I tell people, when they lose relatives, I never tell people, man, I know how you feeling right now, unless I've lost somebody that close to me. Like, when I've never lost my mom, so if somebody is to lose their mom, I can't say, man, I know what you're going through right now. I know how you feel, because I don't.
Yeah.
So growing up as a struggling African American, I could relate to those people. And for me, I loved giving back to the youth. Like, I coach till this day, and I volunteer coach. I never do it for pay because I know how it is growing up in a neighborhood like that, growing up without a father. So it's like I did it to help out and also be relatable, and also be in positions to where a George Floyd situation won't happen. Nah, like, I've been in situations where I told people, hey, fall back and let me handle it. Because you can't relate to this person like I can.
Yeah.
You don't know their way of communicating to you may seem like disrespect, but that's just the way they communicate. Where we come from, everybody don't have the best communication skills. So,
oh Lord, things like that.
Exactly. So somebody may seem aggressive or mad to you, but that's just how they talk. So I'm like, nah, I got in this field more so I could be that guy to say, hey, just let it be, or hey, this is how we're gonna have to approach the situation. We're not gonna handle it that way. Like, I just came in an encounter where, one of my best friends, he called the police because somebody broke into his car. The cop got there and was yelling at him. And I get on the scene, and I walk up to him, and I dap him up because that's my boy. I'm like, hey, bro, you good? He like, yeah, I'm straight, man. This dude broke into my car. He like, but this cop disrespecting me. He yelling at me and stuff, treating me like I'm a kid. He said, all I did was ask him a question. So I'm like, I walk up to the cop, like, hey, you all right? He's like, yeah, man, I'm just a little stressed out. Like, we all stressed.
Yeah.
You can't treat this man like a suspect and he a victim.
Facts. Right.
So it's just like you gotta deal with situations like that. But at the end of the day, I really did it to just be that face. Like, I looked at it like this. Yeah, I'm gonna get criticism for it. A lot of people in our community, they don't take well to people coming from our community and becoming cops. They don't take well to cops in general. So for them to see me, I'm like, oh, bro, like, I done heard it all. You a sellout, bro. You done came from the point and became a cop. Oh, you a sellout, bro. And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna just take it. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I guarantee you, I'm gonna have your back before one of them have your back. At the end of the day, if we could look past it, oh, it's a tinted window, man, go ahead and enjoy your day, bro. I'm not gonna worry about no tinted window, bro. Go ahead and enjoy your day. Oh, it's expired registration. All right, bro, take care of that. I don't want you to keep getting stopped over this, bro. Just take care of it as soon as you can. Stuff like that, it's so minor, but some cops make it such of a big deal. So I'm like, that's really why I jumped into it. Cause I'm like, certain stuff, you don't gotta make you don't gotta make it a big deal. But that's just how some people operate as cops. But that was one of the reasons I jumped into it, coming from where we come from. It's just because I could be that help. I didn't mind taking that backlash of people saying, oh, you a sellout. Oh, you Uncle Tom. It is what it is, bro. You feel how you feel. I feel how I feel. But I know at the end of the day, this is why I'm doing it. To show a lot of these black kids, like, you ain't got to hate the police, bro. Be the police. That way they can't tell you what to do. And I don't say stop there. Go ahead and be the chief. Go ahead and be the sheriff. Write some of these laws. Do that. Because that's the only way you're going to get, at the end of the day, that's the only way you're going to get what you need. That's where you're going to help your people as much as you can by putting yourself in that position.
Sure. What about you, bro?
So for me, I feel like I was about 5 or 6 years old when I decided that I wanted to be a cop. And it's like Reneil said, like, growing up in Hunters Point, like, you see the police riding around Or even like you seeing cops on TV, they don't look like us. They look, you know, it's no black cops out there. And then growing up in Bayview Hunters Point, you know, SFPD back then, they was a whole lot more aggressive. So, and you know, you seen that. So it's like me in my mind, I'm thinking like, I wouldn't act like that if I was a cop. And like how Reneil said, like, I know these people. Like, you know, I've been black 26 years, but I'm not afraid of black people. I know how our people in our community may act. They might not be aggressive at all, but that's how they see them.
Mm-hmm.
See, what the problem is when you don't grow up around people, bro, and you only grow up around one class, and what you only get used to that.
Right.
So then you get in a position of authority, and if somebody acts how you not used to, that's going to, you know, make you react a certain way. But that's just not the case. It's good to be around different people, different cultures, so that you can understand how other people are. So that's what really made me want to become and get into law enforcement. It's like how Reneil said, it's the interactions that you have. Each interaction could mean something. Each interaction could be like how he said, he ain't worried about no tinted windows or no expired registration. That one interaction could make somebody's viewpoint on policing change.
Right.
Like you talking to them like they're a human being. You talking to them with respect. You're not there to just give them a ticket or jam them up. Like, this is my job. No, you involved in the community. You letting people know that you out here, you know? And it's like how he said, don't be an officer, be a chief, be the sheriff. And, you know, this ain't the only solution either. Be a legislator, be a lawyer, be a judge. Like, you got change is going to come from all different type of aspects. It's multiple solutions to one problem. This is just a solution that we chose that we feel like we can be impactful in.
And the thing is, like, so, and like, the thing is, like you said, like, I 100% agree with, like, you gotta get within the inside and change to change things. Like, you can't just like do it what is all on this side of on the line, and the rules is being made over here. Like, we can't do that. The only thing that I always say, as long as like is what y'all saying is the stuff I like I be liking here is like, as long as you get in it knowing, like, being realistic, like, you know what I'm saying, like, it's still cops out there that might not give our people the fairest of shake sometimes. And it's like, as black people, this is where, like, in all fields though, like, if we seeing black people getting mistreated, like, it's our job, within our job, to like say something or to try to make it as best as we can. Now, I'm not saying if a black person hop out and they got 3 guns and they point one at you, that you supposed to take their side. Like, I'm not saying in any situation. Obviously, if they doing something they ain't got no damn business, or in putting your life or your part of life in harm, then, you know what I'm saying, you do what you gotta do, as that's your job. You got to get home. You know, I'm not saying that. But like you said, like, if it's a tinted window, he don't need to be getting out of his car, sitting on the side of the road because his window tinted. Like, that's the part where it just become too much. And then you see that, like, we done seen people get pulled over and be like, you didn't watch the whole transaction. It'd be like, and now he shouldn't be out his car on the side of the road. Like, it's just stuff that you might see walking home from school. But like you said, if you getting in there, we can get more black cops in there that's willing to speak up if something going on, and not just saying like, oh, I don't want to be the one to say nothing, or I don't want to rock the boat. Because like, if black cops get in there and don't want to rock the boat at all, I feel like it's kind of like not pointless, but it's not helpful to the cause. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, because a closed mouth ain't gonna help nothing. Like, just like with the schools, like, I work in the schools. If I see, like, it's my job to serve all the youth. But if I see something going on with African American students where they get mistreated, as one of the only African American staffs in the school I work in, it's my job to say something and speak up on that. Now, if something going on with another group, I should speak up on that too. But I have to be forefront a lot of times with my people if they ain't got nobody else to do it in certain situations. So it's just like I'm loving what y'all saying about just, you know what I'm saying, helping the community, even with people saying negative stuff. Like, so what? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's still your job as a cop to make sure that they good, and they might not see it. Like, they might not understand it. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody raised them. Some people raised to just hate cops, like, from the moment they born. Like, that's just what is taught in their household. So it's like, you know, we understand that as, you know, mature adults that we is now. Everybody not going to agree, but as long as you could constantly continue to remember what you're doing for it, and that's really all that matters. Because like, even at my school, I work with kids all the time that they be, man, F you, I don't want to hear your band, but I still got to make sure you get what you need. even though you just called me all of these names 10 minutes ago. But if you come to ask for help now, I still got to make sure you get this math right. So it's like, so that's all. I don't know. I just feel like that's important for people to hear. Like, you're not just in it just because it make good money. Like, y'all didn't even mention the money that it make. Y'all didn't mention the benefits that come with it. Y'all mentioned the people like that. That's good to hear. Like, you don't hear a lot of people talk about that. Some of the people we went to school with, Rudy, I ain't gonna name nobody specifically, but in high school, we went to some people, they cops now. First thing you hear them say, man, you know how much money I'm making now, man. I'd have been on this vacation. I'd have bought me a new car. Like, it's just kind of like the conversation is just a totally different conversation when you're talking about like their aspirations we're doing. Like, I didn't even know y'all wanted to be a cop that long. I didn't know you wanted to be a cop since you was 13. Like, I didn't know that. So like, that's all like, so this is something that was really a passion. It's not something that, oh, I got out of school, let me go find something that make money. Like, so that's key. Like, next question, to just keep it moving on that thing, because like that was good, was in your experience. So Renee, we was having this discussion on Twitter about police, and we was talking about privilege versus no privilege within being a cop versus being a regular just everyday black man. And so you said you had told, correct me if I'm wrong, you said you had told some youth you was working with that there's no difference between you and them. Like, there is no privilege with being a cop, even like there is no privilege since you're a black man with being a cop.
So I don't mean there's always privilege wherever you work. Like if you work for Muni, you get to ride Muni free. Mm-hmm. There's privilege in that aspect. But if I'm not in uniform, I've been pulled over multiple times because my car is tinted out. So I've been pulled over multiple times, and I've been in San Mateo and got a ticket for tinted windows in San Mateo, a ticket that I can't write off. So it's like I got to go to San Mateo, I got to go to court, and I got to contest it. Mm-hmm. And they're like, why you got tinted windows? And I'm like, well, I'm in San Francisco. Like, this is where I'm at. I'm living out here. So it's like, what you want me to do? I work out here. So it's like, it's going to be people, regardless on how you do your job, somebody's not going to like the way you do your job, regardless on if you're doing it to the best of your ability or you're doing it and you being an asshole while you're doing it. They don't care. If some people, if they're not getting what they want, now it's an issue between you and them. So I told them, that's why I got tinted windows. I'm moving out of San Francisco, but as of now, I was still here. And this was maybe 2 years ago. And I'm like, I'm living in San Francisco as of now. I'm planning on moving, but this is why my windows are tinted. And the judge was like, well, that's a legitimate reason. I understand why. And I've told, some youth. And then I've compared myself to other men that, good men don't get in trouble, don't have records. I've been pulled over. It's all about how you conduct yourself. I've been pulled over. I conducted myself in this fashion. This man's been pulled over. He conducted himself in this fashion. We conducted ourselves the same. We both got let go. But when you conduct yourself in a certain manner, and then you got certain stuff on your background, it may change. Mm-hmm. But as far as privilege, I don't feel like there's a big privilege at being a black cop. Because at the end of the day, when they see me, I got tattoos all over my arm. So when they see me, they just see me as another black dude driving a car. Until I say, oh man, I'm a cop. You can check, checking my wallet. I got a badge in my wallet. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, okay. And then things kind of change. They get a little bit of a sense of comfort, but I feel like it's almost the same. I can't say it's exactly the same, but it's almost the same.
And so see where my point was so like you saying, so basically what you saying is, from what I'm hearing, is like the original, like the initial encounter is similar for all black cop as a just a regular black man. So like me getting pulled over by a cop as opposed to you getting pulled over in your regular clothes. So like that might be true. See, but what I was talking about was just on like as far as the whole situation, like the whole scenario, how it play out. Like it might be like inconvenient, like having to go to the court was like, that was inconvenient. But it's just like, it's still to the, like with you having a badge, it's still like you don't have that same, like it's a lesser chance that something could go wrong with the situation. Initial encounter, yeah, like a white cop look at and see a black man in the car. Obviously, like their first mission gonna probably be some negative stuff. But it's like the thing where it kind of like where I'm talking about is like the fear of like the situation to continue. Like I got pulled over by a cop like going over speed limit, and it was like pulled me out the car, you know what I'm saying, had me doing all these different tests, like talking about, oh yeah, what you was drinking tonight. And I'm like, sir, I haven't drunk anything. Like, I'm just going home. And he was like, I'm like, can we just do the breathalyzer? He had me doing these different tests. He had me saying the alphabet forward and backwards, like, and it was just all these different things. And I was just like, his partner had his gun pulled. And it's like, they would just get at me like I had already committed these crimes or committed a crime. And all I did was like break the speed limit, which isn't something. Give me my ticket and let me go on, keep on going by my day. I wasn't contesting the ticket. I wasn't acting like I knew I was speeding. I was trying to get back home. I had to whip. This was before I had my own car. I was using my mama's car. She needed her car back, so you know how that be. You got to get back to where mom needed so you could get it the next time. So I knew I was doing the wrong thing. So it wasn't like I was, oh man, why you didn't? I just needed my ticket. And I'm like, hey man, I ain't been drinking. But it was just like this whole ordeal. And it's like him having his gun pulled, like it just had me fearful that it could have went a whole different way. Now, what I was saying is, as a cop, like you got a badge, so it's like even if you off duty, it's like you could still like pull that and say like, listen, man, y'all, and it's like whether they like just believe it right away or they call in and double check it, that's still kind of like in a sense, like a get out of jail free card, like that I don't have. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't have nothing to where if the police is on me, I could just be like, hey, look, I'm one of y'all. I'm not. So it's like, and the biggest thing that I was saying is because you had said like you told the youth that the thing is that with youth, you got to kind of be careful what you say, because if you want them to be into being a cop, you can't tell them it's no privilege with it, because then what makes them want to be a cop? Like they know they already gonna get negative feedback from their community. They've seen a lot of negativity, even from TV. Like all TV show is black people. I mean, cops treating black people wrong. Plus, what you can probably seen from your own family members, and it's just from even your friends saying negative stuff. So it's like if I got to go through all of that, and I'm not gonna gain no privilege of like protecting my life or having my family have some type of different protection, like a lot of them gonna look at it like, what's the point of doing it? So it's like not trying to overhype it. Yeah, like you be realistic, like your privilege as far as this white cop, I don't think it's the same in no situation. Like I don't think that you have the same power, not same power, the same rights with your badge as this person got with their badge. I don't. But I do think it's still a leg up, and it's like with you, it's like you have to give them something to latch onto for them to get interested in stuff. If it's not something they was already interested in when you met them. So it's like if cop, that's a big hurdle to climb, you know what I'm saying, with black youth. So it's like, yeah, it is something. Yeah, like I don't have to fear for my life as much as the next. Like there might be things that don't sound good, but like that's stuff that might make them say, oh wow, like you know what I'm saying? Like that's a reason to do something like that. Like, and it's like once you get there, you grow to love it. Like with anything, you might not like it at first, but you grow to it. But that could be something that could turn some of them into it's like, yeah, I'll be worried about getting pulled over by the cop, because I got students that's 2 years away from getting a driver's license that's already talking about they scared to get pulled over by the police and they ain't even got no license yet. So you're not even driving, but it's already a fear that's built in from just over the years of experience they might have had with their family and things like that. So you have to like let them know, like, yeah, like if me and my partners is riding together, like we more secure in our journey with a cop with us than with not with us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it has to be some solace in that. And it's like, I don't know, like, and I'm a 26-year-old dude. But I haven't never been to jail. I ain't never been arrested. I ain't never even like, well, I've been put in handcuffs before because of just these type of situations I'm talking about. But like, and I'm still fearful. Like I be riding down the street, if the police get behind me and I got my kids in the back seat, I got 2 sons, I be nervous. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want nothing to happen. Like, Angie's nervous because her dad, when she was younger, and Mr. Daly, if you know Angie dad, like he one of the most stand-up men out there. He got pulled over and they had 6 cars on him. They had the gun to his head. They had him on the ground with their knee in his back. And they was over there telling him, shut up, sit in the back. Like, and they father was on the floor with guns pointed at their head. And like, it was like, those are things that I don't know, like, and I could be wrong, but like, I don't see, or 98% of the time, I don't feel like there's no way, unless you done went rogue and did something that was against your job, where they would pull you out the car and have guns to the back of your head. After you find it out, like you saying, like after you pulling your badge, like Like, I don't know. But like I said, I could be.
It's no, I completely agree with you. And at the standpoint when you said, maybe that's something you shouldn't tell the youth, that's why I feel like conversations like this are very helpful because you deal with a lot of youth. So you know where their mindset is. You know how they operate. So to hear that from you, I'm like, okay, I can take that advice and I can go with it. Because this man worked with the youth. He knows, how this generation is moving, how the new generation is moving.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, maybe that's something you might not want to tell them. I'm gonna take that advice and I'm gonna go with it, and I'm gonna take that advice and run with it because you know more than me in that aspect. So that's why I say conversations like this are beneficial. But as far as situations like that, like I've even being a cop, like I've had guns pulled on. I have guns pulled on me. Like CHP pulled me over and nah, man, you ain't a cop. I ain't never seen you before. And I'm like, what do you mean you never seen me before? He was like, you say you work for the sheriff's department in San Francisco. I never seen you there. And he took my badge, threw it in the back seat of his car, and he was like, no, I never seen you there before. Give me your ID. And I'm like, just because you've never seen me before don't mean I don't work there, But that's why I say sometimes with cops, it's a lot of ego.
Yeah.
It's a lot of ego. And I'm just like, even to this day, like I ain't gonna lie to you, even being a cop, when I get cops behind me, my heart jump a little bit because I'm like, man, even though I'm a cop, the first thing he gonna see is just a black dude driving this car. And for some reason, that make a lot of people nervous, which I don't understand why, but it make a lot of people nervous. So I got that initial butterfly in my stomach. Man, this man pulling me over, man. I don't know how he gonna get out this car and react. Like I got pulled over right in front of the house.
Mm-hmm.
2 SLPD cops pulled me over, jumped out the car with their guns out. Hey man, we want to know why you didn't use your blinker. You got a gun out because I ain't use a blinker? Well, I want to let you know. Like he's like, you on paperwork? And I'm like, I'm in a rental car at that. He's like, I'm like, paperwork? I said, nah, bro, I'm a cop. And my boy right here, an accountant. And he like, oh, okay. Oh, you got a badge? I pull out my badge. He want to put his gun away. But I'm like, to me, I'm like, that already had me on edge. Like, bro, I'm about to get shot by another dude that I work around. Like, we work closely with SLPD. So I'm like, that made me uncomfortable. But I can honestly see how it'll make a man who can't say, man, I got a badge. Put their hands up, man, I got a badge. Like, I work for the sheriff's department. I could see how that will make somebody else feel 10 times worse. Because it's like you don't have that opportunity to say, man, I got a badge. I'm a cop myself. You got to just sit there and take it. You can't really give them no words. You can just say, hey man, I'm not trying to harm nobody. That's all you really can say. So it's like that's not gonna take them off edge 9 times out of 10. Most people don't take them off edge. You're saying, hey man, I'm not here to harm nobody. I'm just here.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying as far as that aspect for sure. Because people don't have the ability, like a person in your position don't have that ability to bring a cop off edge by saying, hey man, I'm a cop myself. So I definitely get what you're saying in that aspect.
Yeah, and that's why like I feel comfortable having these conversations with y'all because like y'all my brothers. We've been friends for years and years. So it's like we all know here, like I want the best for y'all want the best for me. Like I was there when you graduated, you know what I'm saying? I'm here to support, I'm all for it, like you know what I'm saying? But we have to be able to hold each other accountable within our own fields or whatever we're doing, like you know what I'm saying? Or else what's the point of us even being friends? Like I don't like to be friends with people that I can't, if I see something or I can't speak on it, or it's like, oh, you tweeted this, so I can't say nothing, or else, oh, he ain't gonna be fooling with me no more. Like that's just we too grown for that. Like you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to discount. I also don't want to discount any of your feelings either. As far as like you said, like you get pulled over and like, bro, you've been a cop. I mean, for this amount of time, you've been a black man your whole life.
3.5, almost 4 years being a cop.
So you've been 3.5 years a cop, but you've been a black man for 26. So it's like you can't just unlearn all of the things that you might have had, like the fears you might have seen, like that you from growing up in the point seeing thing. So I'm not saying like it's just a complete like comfort. Like you said, getting a cop behind you it's just a scary feeling in general. So I'm not at all trying to make it seem like, oh, you a cop now, so it ain't like all your fears from whenever you had them should be gone. Like that's not. I'm not trying to discount past emotions and things like that at all. I just want to throw that too. Like it's just an honest conversation about youth and about like the different things and the way they operate. But what you think about like this topic?
Just being a cop and having privilege.
Yeah.
I mean, I do agree with Reneil. Like you know, if you off duty, if when he ain't in no uniform, he just a regular black man. They don't know that. Just be like how the CHP officer said he ain't never seen him before, but he work in the jail. He there almost every day. So you know, it's not until if they see you in uniform, like he said, it's a different type of comfort level. But when he's not, it's the same initial until he tells them like, oh, I'm an officer myself. So I think like how you said there, like there's certain type of privilege, like how you said, like if you tell them you a cop, okay, then the aggression may come down if that's how they start off. But still, when he ain't in that uniform, man, he gets the same treatment. And like I'm not in law enforcement yet, so I don't have any personal experiences to say that. But this is just like what I'm going off of. Like even when I get pulled over, I still get that, you know, that nervousness in me. Like, you know, make sure he can see my hands. You know, I'm telling him if he asks for my license, I'm telling him exactly where it is before I even reach for it. It's just certain things that, you know, I go about dealing with police.
Yes, I mean it's really just about understanding like the situations and like the different. It's because it's levels to everything. Like nothing is black and white. Like it ain't like um, and it's like it's outliers to everything as well. So it's like by me saying once you tell them you a cop, they gonna like obviously not every single person out there is gonna honor that. Like you know what I'm saying. So it's like out of 10 people, you're not gonna get 10 people that's gonna react the same way. You know, but I do feel like it's probably gonna be a good amount of them that do probably take it and go with it and be like, okay, he a cop and move past it. But like it is gonna be some assholes. It's assholes in everything. Though. So I'm not saying it's like you never gonna encounter that. That's not. I just want to be clear in what my message is here. Like you know what I'm saying. It's not gonna be 100%, but it's like out of 10, about like you know what I'm saying, might be cool with it. And that's still a scary thing to have 20% chance that something could go wrong or whatever the percentage is. But it's just as like yeah, like a white cop probably has a 0% chance. They probably get 10 out of 10 that when they say they're a cop, okay, he looked like me. I could understand he a cop, and they go with it. Yo, 8 out of 10. And then for me, it's like you know whenever. Like I mean, I done been pretty good with cops over the years. Like I didn't have my few situations. So as soon as they come up to the window, I'd be like, man, my bad. I don't even be knowing what they pulling me over for all the time. But it just seemed to kind of work for me. Like, yeah, man, my bad. It worked just like that every time I give it to him. My bad. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't even know what I did. He'd be like, yeah, man, you was going through that. Be like, oh yeah, and just kind of talk it out. Now, a few times that ain't worked out, but it's like I try to put myself in a situation too where I'm not really getting pulled over a lot either. But it's because I'm already so worried about it. So it's just I don't know. It's just I don't really know like what like you just can't look at it and say, oh, he a cop, he got all the privilege, or he a black man, so he don't have no privilege. Like it's like it's a balancing act between it. I feel like I don't know, and it's like you don't even like to speak this because you are a cop. So like being you 3.5 years, 4.5 years ago, if you was getting put like, do it feel any different at all? Like past the initial like butterflies in your stomach when you getting pulled over by a cop, like
honestly,
before you got into the force, as opposed to now that you've been in there and you established in the force.
Honestly, I can honestly say no, because when I initially get pulled over, and once I see them red and blue lights behind me, I'll be like, oh damn. That's the first thing that go through my head. Damn, what I do? And then I look in that side mirror and I try to see who coming. You know, is he white? Is he black? You know, do he look calm? Do he look like he already on the edge? And the first thing I do is I do what Rudy was just saying. Hey, I make sure my hands is visible. And that's the first thing I do, because a lot of people, you don't, so my car, like I said, my car is tinted out. So the first thing you do, you walking up to a tinted car. Some people don't feel comfortable with that. Me personally, it don't bother me. Like I'm still alert, but it don't bother me to the point where I'm like, man, I might have to shoot somebody. It's just like, if you see the car and you know why you pulling them over, they got tinted windows. Okay, first thing you do, you that's what we got loudspeakers for. Hey man, roll the windows down for me. And I roll the windows down, but it's still like, man, I don't know how this person come into this door. So at the end of the day, I don't really feel any different because I can't control how that person is gonna react when they get to my door. So regardless on if I got enough time to say, hey, I'm a cop, don't shoot me, or if they just come up and shoot me, I still have that fear as a black man. Because at the end, that's what they see. They see a black man driving a car. So is I still get that same heart flutter, them same butterflies. Because I know this man, the first part of this conversation ain't gonna be, hey man, I recognize you, you a cop. It's not gonna be that. The first thing that's going on in my head is, okay, this a cop coming up to me. And the first thing that's going on in their head is, what they teach you in the academy. Hey, it's all about officer safety. Make sure when you're going up to that car, you're safe. And some people take that differently. Like me, making sure I'm safe is, okay, I see how many people in the car. I run the car before I get up on it. So I know, if it's registered, if it's not registered, if it's stolen, if it's not stolen. And then you kind of got to go from there. For me, I'm kind of looking at body language. If the person's sitting there pretty still, they pretty calm, I'm calm. But when you're doing all this moving around, you grabbing for stuff already, now I'm kind of like, okay, what's going on? So that's just how I look at it as a cop. I look at it like, okay, going off my training, going off my experience of walking up to certain cars and stuff like that. That's how I treat it when I'm on duty. But, some people, they edge is a lot different. What they comfortable with is a lot different. I'm comfortable walking up to cars with black people in them. I done did that all my life. I done seen it all my life. Dudes sitting on the corner, just chilling, talking to their partners out the car. A lot of cops don't see that. And that's why I say, like, that's where I go back to saying, like, I encourage more people to be cops, because especially people from these neighborhoods, because you know this dude. Like, if I get out the car and I pull you over there and you see me, you like, oh, that's Reneil. All right, cool, bro. Like, I'm good. But if you see somebody else pulling you over, then you like, I don't know how this person gonna react. And that's why I say that's why we need more people like us and younger than us to do it. Because I guarantee if I see Rudy, I pull Rudy over, he's like, oh, that's Reneil. All right, bro. I ain't got a trip like that, because I know him. I know he ain't gonna do nothing crazy to me.
Right.
So that's why I encourage more people to do it. But to answer your question, I don't really feel any different than I felt before. Because I still got that fear of somebody fearing a black man.
And then another thing, so one of the biggest things that I think is wrong with the system as far as cops go is that the training isn't long enough. Like, to me personally, like, I feel like this. I want to get y'all take on this, because I mean, this is not something that I'm gonna ever do, is become a cop. So I'm just talking from the outside in, but like these things that I feel would help. So like I feel 3 things would help. One, like I feel like you should have to graduate from a 4-year university, and that's from talking to Rudolph and hearing like the difference he feel in like taking these different classes and kind of learning the law better. Like, if you have to learn the law to become a lawyer, why would you not have to learn the law like in full to become a cop? It is all the way that don't make sense all the way to me. And that would kind of take away some of the kids that's like, cause a lot of the kids, not a lot of the kids, but some of the kids like we went to high school with, that parents might have had money, that expected all of these good things from their kids, and it's kind of like, now you done dropped out of school, now you ain't really doing nothing. So it's like, I'm gonna become a cop. Like, I can make good money, like it's a respectable job. My parents can tell their friends, and their friends would be cool with it. So like, I feel like this would eliminate a lot of that. Like, it would be more people like you all that's like, this is what y'all wanted to do since y'all was kids, rather than this is what I'm doing now because I'm working somewhere making $12 an hour, and my mama is finna cut me off from the money. So like, I feel like that would help. I feel like the training, like 6 months, like to me, and since it's paid training, it's not like y'all gotta go and y'all can't make no money to pay y'all bills and stuff, like y'all getting paid. So it's like, I feel like 6 months isn't really like that long of a time, like to go through like all of the different things. Like, and I feel like I done heard a cop say, like, in the interview I was watching, it was like, oh, it's like, it's only so much time we got. We only got 6 months. So it's only so much in depth they could go into certain things. Well, it's like, well, why not make it why not make it a longer? Like, what other program do you could go do something and become something that's like as serious of a job as y'all is? Because y'all have people's lives in your hands. Like the same way a doctor do. Like, if a doctor go in there and they put them under, now their life is in your hand. To me, I feel like it's to a certain, like, it might not be to that level, but but it's there. Like you could choose, you have the choice to take somebody's life every day when you pull somebody, every time you pull somebody over. So like the safety of that individual is in your hand. I just feel like 6 months isn't really like, I don't know how that suffices for the whole thing. It was 6 months for this part of it, and then 6 months for this part of it. And then like I don't know, like because it's like 6 months. Shit, I feel like I could go if I could pass the physical. I could go get somebody 6 months for all the money that y'all be making. Like I might could do it myself if I was just on hard time. But that's not something that I'm like passionate about, you know. So it's like making it longer. Like, and I don't feel like either one of you would have not did it if the academy was longer than 6 months. Like I feel like y'all would have still got in there and did what y'all needed to do because this is what y'all want to do. So it's kind of weeding them people out. And it's like, bro, like, I don't know. Like, I talked to a cop before that completely disagreed with this, but like, I don't know, like the shooting to kill. Like, I just feel like it should be situational. Like, because it's like,
my bad, I don't mean to cut you off. Good.
You give like, even in situations where it's like, it'd be situations like where somebody running away. Like when I was in college, I took this class with this black woman. She showed this video and it was like, the cop shot the dude in the head. He was running away. And then the dude was like, well, you know what I'm saying? I had to make sure that I was good. It's like, bro, he was going the opposite way. You couldn't have shot him in his leg and like got him down. It's like, and he was running, like you could see like from the video that he didn't have no gun. It wasn't like he was running with his hand. It wasn't dark outside. I mean, it wasn't like 12, it was like 3 in the afternoon or something. And he was just running like this, but he was running away. Why would you not shoot to like detain him rather than shooting to blow his head off? You know, I don't know. Like that's just, but it's like that's how he, and he when the video, like he was interviewing, it was like, that's my training. Like, you know, it's the da-da-da-da-da-da. And I don't know. I like those things, like in situations, if somebody pull a gun on you, yeah, shoot them. If you got, like, you know what I'm saying? But like in a situation where somebody running away from you, or where it's clear that they don't have a gun, or if they might have a knife, but they 30 feet away from you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just in them type of situations. Like, I don't know. And it's like, my thing is, if y'all completely disagree, let that be. But those are just what I think would be 3 things. And I'm sure there's a lot more. But them just the first thing that's coming to my mind when they talk about like how we could improve and get things like kind of like better for the citizens and the cops to come together. I don't
know. I guess with the 4-year college thing, it's like I can see why you feel that way. Like what people like, you feel like people should have, 4-year college degrees to become cops. But it's like now you got to think about those kids. Like my department, they say you got to at least have 2 semesters of college finished. So you at least got to have an AA pretty much. And you got to think about those people who don't really like going to school. I ain't even gonna say just blacks, but you got, other races that don't like going to school. And it's like some of them will do it just to do it. I did it because at first I was thinking about, maybe law school. Like maybe I want to become a lawyer. I don't know yet. I really want to be a cop, but let me put myself in that position to where even if I wanted to go to law school, I can. So, I mean, I don't have too much of a big opinion on that. I'm not opposed to it. If they did say, everybody needs to have a 4-year degree to work here, you definitely gonna have a lot less cops. Because at first it used to be a high school diploma, then they made it where you got to have 60 college units, then they made it to, okay, you need an AA. And they like, well, it don't matter what your AA was in. It could have been in art. It could have been in home ec. They don't care. But they like, as long as you was disciplined enough to go to school. And I guess the 6 months in the academy, which I had to do longer because I got hurt the first time, but on average, it's like 3 to 6 months in the academy. And I feel they teach you basic law. They don't go into depth. They teach you the basic things that you come in contact with most common. So you come in contact with auto burglary, car burglary, rape, stuff like that. They teach you stuff like that you come in common with often. Drugs, stuff like that. So, I mean, the training, it just depends on how they allocate the training, because my academy, one thing they don't teach you shoot to kill. They teach you, you shoot to eliminate the immediate threat. So if you're shooting somebody and they drop their weapon, or if you're getting ready to shoot them and they drop their weapon, there's no longer a threat.
Right.
So some trainings, I have heard, some departments do teach, we shoot to kill. We shoot to stop an immediate threat. And now, like when I was going through the academy, it was the first academy they went ahead and said, okay, let's throw in a cultural diversity class and let's throw in a tactical de-escalation class. So we could teach people how to de-escalate a situation. We could teach people how to deal with people who might be experiencing a mental health crisis. So, and now my department is, they will allow you to leave and go take the training if you need to, and sometimes they'll pay for it. So me, I've taken a class like that. I went to Riverside to take a class like that because I didn't know the difference between like bipolar disorder, schizophrenia. I didn't know the difference between the two. I didn't know somebody could be doing this if they are schizophrenic. I didn't know that. I thought, maybe, a person just acting out, or then maybe they just crazy. So I feel like, trainings like that need to be implemented more because not a lot of cops. If you have no background, like I was a criminal justice major, psychology minor. So I study, some of the behavioral sciences. So it's like I have a little bit of background knowledge on that, but not everybody do. So now you got to implement these trainings because this is what we deal with, especially being like working in San Francisco. This is what you deal with on a daily basis. So I feel like, yeah, that needs to be implemented. And they teach us, like in the academy, they show us a lot of videos of what they would consider good shoots and bad shoots. And they tell us at the end of the day, you can't Monday night quarterback it. Just like if you see a quarterback out there throwing a pass, you can't say, oh man, you had so-and-so wide open downfield, Brent, you missed him. You don't know what he's seeing. So that's why they say, unless you was in the situation, don't Monday night quarterback it. We could critique it a little bit and say what you possibly would have done, but you never know until you're in the situation. So that's why they tell us don't Monday night quarterback it. But the whole how people say, shoot them in the leg, don't shoot them in the body. They kind of teach you that in the academy because they say you shoot, not everybody's good shots. And through a high stress situation, they say you literally retain 30% of your training. So in a high stress situation, that's why they teach you, okay, you shoot center mass. You shoot the biggest part of the body because it's a higher possibility you won't miss. It's a higher possibility you can eliminate the threat. Like you can stop a immediate threat. Now we don't teach shoot to kill, we teach to stop an immediate threat. So you can fire off one round, you can fire off two. As soon as you can say in your head, okay, the threat is now stopped, let's render aid to the person, then that's what you do. But you got some cops out there that have this mentality of, nah man, you try to take my life, so I'm taking your life. Like I've been in situations like that because now I'm no longer in the jail, I'm outside. So I've been in situations where I'm chasing a dude down the street and he digging in the backpack and I don't know what he got in his backpack. But I didn't shoot him. So it's like you got to put yourself in a situation and you react to the situation to how you want to react to it. Yeah. They don't really train you how to react. They say, this is what we want to teach you to do, but if you choose to do different, it's on you. So I mean, I've been, as a kid, like we've been in situations where you may have gotten into a little altercation with somebody, you chase them down the street, or they digging in the backpack because you don't argue with them. You don't know what they're pulling out that backpack. So it's like it's an iffy situation to judge. And I just say, for the way I conduct myself in this field, I don't conduct myself to take nobody's life because if I was on the opposite side, I wouldn't want it to happen to me. I wouldn't want to happen to somebody I'm cool with, like one of y'all. So you just got to conduct yourself a certain way. And like I was saying to you, like in a previous conversation, it's all about your level of comfortability. Me, I've been out here my whole life. So I'm used to seeing certain things. And it's like certain things you can react a certain way to, and certain things you kind of like, nah, this man ain't got nothing, he bluffed.
Yeah.
So it's like it's situations like that. And that's why I say, and that's why I keep reiterating, we got to get more people from San Francisco to work in San Francisco. Because if you get somebody from, let's say, for instance, just using this as an example, somebody from Marin County coming to work in San Francisco, he ain't never experienced the Tenderloin. He ain't never experienced Filmo. He ain't never experienced Bayview. So he don't know how it operates. He's scared of something that he possibly might not have to be afraid of.
Yeah. Like them all good points. And then you said, touch on the first, because the first thing you said was like it would be less cops if they had to get the 4-year degree.
I mean, and just in my opinion, I feel like it'd be less because we got, less people going to college. And then you also got to think less people want to be cops nowadays.
Mhm.
It's a lot. One, it's a lot of liability issues. Everybody like, no, no, no. I'm seeing cops going to jail, and I feel like they doing their job. Or you got people that saying, nah, I don't want to be no cop because I don't like the police. So you already got that aspect, and then now you throwing in college. Like, okay, you got to have a 4-year degree. You got some kids that's that are I want to go to college. You got some that's on board. They rooted all the way. I want to go to college. Yes, I want to get a 4-year degree. And then you got some like, I don't really want to go to school, but I want a good job.
And see, and that's the thing, and that's my biggest thing. Like, that's kind of what I want. Like, is like less cops that's just doing it because what you said. That's the exact thing. I don't want to go to college, but I want a good job. And that's like, this ain't no job to where you just do it because they make good money. Like, I feel like
I feel that. I agree with you on that.
yeah, because it's like I feel like it feels like that though. Like, it's like you could go be like, that's pretty much most of the trade jobs. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could go work construction. You ain't got to go to school. You could go be Angie Brothers in school right now to be an electrician. He about to graduate in I think a few months, and he gonna be making good money. So it's like
he made Tico electrician.
Yeah,
just as much as anybody else, bro.
Exactly. So they making good money, and that's what you don't have to go to college. But those are jobs to where it's like they not putting nobody's life on the line with everything that they do. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like that's the point. If you want to go make some good money, go be a trade worker. Don't go protect and serve. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm all for. I work with kids. I'm telling you, my main focus is Black and brown youth. So we automatically know all the Black and brown youth is not trying to go to school. Whether they go because their parents made them or whatever reason, we know they're not all trying to go. So I'm a big trade work. I'm a big fan of, let me help you find somebody that do. Shoot, my YCD where I work, part of what we do, we don't just work with kids. We help people get jobs, and we help people with construction work and the things they might need to go do their job. So it's like I'm for that. I just don't feel like a cop should be like something like a teacher. Like, teachers, you don't really hear teachers say like they go into it because they make, like, it's about the love or about the passion of it. You really want to serve, like, people that become like, and it's like, yeah, bro. And it's like, even if you don't like school, like, you had to do what if you had to go to school for 4 years to become a cop, if you was really passionate about it, you're gonna knock that 4 out. And you mentioned too, it's about discipline. Well, yeah, if you can't even go to school for 4 years to do this, if you really love it, how do I know you're gonna be able to commit to me for the next 30 years to protect and serve wholeheartedly? Like, that's the type of thing like we seeing like what you can do, because anybody can say they want to protect and serve. Anybody can say, nah, man, I want to be a cop. Like, it sound good, but like your actions show what you really want to do, or what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So it's like, to me, that was the whole point of that. Cut it down. Like, they gonna still find enough people to become cops. Like, it's gonna still, it ain't, I just don't see it being to where it's like, man, now we ain't got cops. Now we out here in the purse. Like,
it's rough. I'm telling you, because I'm saying I 100% agree with you with the okay. If that's your passion, you gonna work to get, like, just like when you got people that want to go to the NBA, they go to that gym and they spend countless hours in the gym. Just like, if you want to be a cop, you're gonna spend countless hours in them books to get that 4-year degree. I agree with you on that. I do feel like that, if this is your passion, you're gonna do whatever it is to get to your passion. I agree with that. But looking at the numbers now, like my department specifically, I want to say they said on the news the other day, we short maybe 170 people. And then you got to think about it. That's not a requirement right now. A 4-year degree ain't a requirement right now. We that short 170 people.
Yeah.
Right now, without the you need a 4-year degree thing. Now just imagine if they said, okay, now you need a 4-year degree. Now we weed out any more people, which it's like we got to kind of juggle the two. What do they feel like is more important? I agree with you though. Like, if that's your passion, do it. Go get your 4-year degree. But now we got to think about it as like a realistic standpoint. Is it realistic for them to do that? They probably would never do it, just because now they looking at the numbers like, we don't even got enough people as is. we can't throw out another requirement when we already struggling for people.
Yeah.
But Rudy, how you feel about that?
Just going to school and talking to different people, like because I study criminal justice too, so like talking to my teachers were lawyers, some of them were cops, and some of them were just like social advocates. So I got like different perspectives on like how law should be. And one of my teachers, who was a former SFPD officer, he actually said that he thinks that officers should have 4-year degrees, and he said that you shouldn't. He said that they should raise the minimum age requirement from like 21 up to like 25 or something like that. I mean, because basically, like, bro, you know, yeah, at 21, you may be able to legally own a gun, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna make smart decisions.
Right.
I mean, we can look back at 21. We wasn't really making the smart decisions. We was technically of age in the legal aspect, but at 21 to be a cop, like even in the process of I'm going through and just like talking to like some guys were 21-year-olds, and I could just see like it's like the maturity level wasn't there. And like I was only there 5 years ago, but like I get that. Like it's different. So I even think like the age requirement should be raised. But even like going with it, like how you said, like I'm hearing the same thing though. Like the numbers is not good right now. It's not good overall, but even with like minorities, it's not that good. So when you look at how David, you know, you work with youth, when you come from like impoverished neighborhoods, a lot of these kids may not think about college just because of the financial situation that they're in.
For sure.
So that could be hard too. So I feel like they should, but I, like Reneil said, I don't think they're gonna do it right now.
Nah, definitely, and it's definitely gonna take like it's definitely time, and it's not even saying like it might not be feasible, but like I just said, like if we was looking at just ways that we could improve those, I just wanted to see like if y'all even thought. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Sorry about that, the camera got cut off, but it's all good. Thanks again to my guys, Reneil, Rudy. I really appreciate y'all coming on, giving y'all perspectives. This is what this platform is all about. I want people to come on here, whether we agree or disagree, everybody be able to say their opinion, and we all be good with it. So I hope you all enjoyed this episode. There'll be a lot more episodes like this to come. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tune in to my other videos. Like and subscribe, please, and thank you. See you next week. We got another episode coming out. I did an event for Baseline, my friends Daniel and Ashley. So look forward for that episode. Thank you all for tuning in. Peace.